name's Heather. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I hope you enjoy the insights here in this reading. It's a general reading, so take what works for you. It may also apply to somebody that is close to you at this time. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, then please feel free to cross-watch to my other videos. I have shuffled and laid out the cards. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac, and as the cards appear in the house, then that is the influence that is occurring at this time. So in the first house, you have void of course, moon. The general meaning is missing. So now this house, the first house, covers the self, your appearance, your vitality, your how you project yourself and how you are received by others, how they perceive you, and your physical body, and your characteristics, really, what other people can see, how they view you, and just how you move forward in the world, how you project yourself. So now with this card appearing in there, as it relates to the way you are projecting yourself, or perhaps if you're starting a new physical regime of some sort, this is not a good time to be starting anything new. Rather wait until you feel that it's the right time to move forward. So don't take action and launch yourself into new paths or impulsive actions of any sort. Just do not do that. Take no action. Rather be disciplined and stay within your normal routine. Because if you launch yourself into anything new, or if you try to move forward on something that perhaps is it's not going to be in alignment with how you are at the moment. It's not going to work out very well, or it's not going to work out as planned. So this can apply in a great deal of ways. You could be asked to take part in something, where you want to launch something, where you want to now suddenly move in a new direction and so on. Rather wait until your heart tells you that it's time to move on. Only follow things which really feel truly important to you. It's what your heart wants, so listen to your heart. You might get you can investigate spontaneous or unplanned matters. That's fine, but don't, if you're going to be focusing on things, only make it what you want, because otherwise it's not going to go as planned. So you may try to launch something and it will just not work out. So if it's a new physical regime you want to start, or a change of how you're going to be perceiving, sort of projecting yourself to others, it's not going to work, and you're not going to be received well by others. So rather wait. Just stay within your normal flow and your normal discipline routine, and just keep at it, and just go with that for now until the phase passes. It doesn't normally last very, very long, but you may just find that whatever you try to do just simply won't work very well. Then in the second house, you have Virgo. I analyze. So your second house is all to do with your money, your income. It's your house of values, and it's your house of possessions, property, land, real estate, that sort of thing. And it's also your material and emotional resources, your house of self-worth. So with Virgo, I analyze in there. Virgo is an earth sign. It's ruled by Mercury, and Virgo is all about detail. So what you need to do when it comes to your finances, or perhaps to your possessions, or when it comes to whatever it is you own, you need to get organized. You need to analyze what's working for you, what isn't. Go into detail, set up spreadsheets, be conscientious about what you're doing, plan what you're doing, declutter, streamline, all of those actions. That's very necessary at this time, and it's going to be a sort of a progressive process. So it may take you time to get everything organized, but rather get things under control and actually work it out to your satisfaction. Don't let things slide or become out of control. The other flip side of this is sometimes it can lead to excessive worry, and almost like workaholism, going overboard, to prove self-worth and so on, and being just overly sensitive to criticism, or you being critical of others. So you need to be critical of your finances perhaps, or what you own, and what's working for you and what isn't working for you, but don't direct that in a negative way. So it's all about organizing yourself, getting your things sort of correct and present, and just focusing on what you've got, what you haven't, what you would like to bring in. Get out your spreadsheets, do whatever it is you have to do to declutter and get organized, because that's going to be necessary now. Then in your third house, you have the fire element. This is desire. Your third house is everything to do with communication of all kinds. So that's verbal, body language, written. It's the house of contracts as well. And it's also dealing with your siblings and your aunts and uncles and cousins and so on. So whatever it is, however it comes up for you, whether it's perhaps a new element within your job, communication. It's a very fiery element. You can expect changes and new beginnings. There could be a bit of a wake-up call there as well. So it's a fiery new beginning. It's almost like scorched earth policy, just blitz. Things will be blitzed, and out of that will come a new beginning, which is obviously going to be better for you. But you literally are clearing out what isn't working and moving forward with that. It's passionate, so you could be very communicative and very passionate about what you're saying, what you're writing. So obviously just keep that in check. Don't be, go overboard and be too aggressive or too forceful or too impatient with others or too impulsive. This can have many manifestations, but ultimately it's take action, or action will be thrust upon you. It could also be ego, sort of the rise of the ego, or having the ego sort of slapped down, if you want to call it that. But so keep that in check as well. As I say, it's about directed action. It's about focus. It's also creative. It's very assertive, and it's honest. So rather direct your energies where they need to go at this time. If you need to clarify finances, or you need to take action on your possessions of some kind, then your words and your actions around that are going to be fiery and passionate and directed, and you need to do that to take control of this. Possibly this can have many manifestations, but in any case, it's the communication side of things, taking action on that, and just undergoing some sort of change with how you do communicate with others. Then in your fourth house, you have the North Node. This is life purpose. Fourth house is all to do with the home and your home life. It's also to do with your ethnic identity and your foundation, your roots. So the North Node is all about stepping into your mission for this lifetime. So if you are one that is interested in past lives and present life and so on, this is seizing your mission this lifetime with both hands and going with it. So it's a very positive aspect, and it's coming up in your. So if it's to do with your home, so then create a happy home life, because when you do that, you create a really strong foundation, and that leads to prosperity. And prosperity can be in many things. It can be in love, it can be in security, it can be in finance. Once you feel secure in your home, and it's a beautiful home, and you feel happy there, it really does give you a wonderful foundation. This is a destiny card as well, so you might find opportunities coming up for you, or you may be meeting or coming across people who are part of your soul family. You're going to feel very comfortable with them. They're going to perhaps assist you in some way, and it's just going to feel absolutely right that they assist you at this time. Something to do with your home. So you could be changing your home, you could be rebuilding a home, or you could be purchasing a new home, or relocating to a new home. But however that manifests for you, it's going to be a change for the better. It could also be something to do with your ethnic identity and your roots. You perhaps are actually going to be perhaps reconnecting with others from the past or from past lives who are somehow going to activate those aspects for you. It's something to do with your roots, your foundation, where you're from. and how you identify as yourself, what you identify with, your roots. So there's something going to come up. It's a very positive thing, and it's almost karmic. It's going to feel really right. It's almost like right place, right time. You're going to perhaps really let go of things from the past and now fully move forward into your power, to really harness all of those wonderful ancestral connotations that come with your ethnic identity. So there's that element coming in, but it's also your home and your home life. You could also be starting a home business. Which, there's monetary gain associated with this card as well. So if it is a change of home, make sure that you're bringing in, or your full essence into your home. Make it a beautiful home, make it your castle. And if you need to start a business there, really bring in all the best elements to make it a really solid foundation for yourself. Then in the 5th house, you have Aquarius. I know. So Aquarius, this is a futuristic sign, this is associated with your 5th house, which rules children. So it can be your children or children you are close to. It's all about creativity, so harnessing your creativity, your creative projects and so on. And it's also about love affairs and having fun, all forms of recreation, and like sports activities. So it's a very futuristic sign. So possibly in one of those areas, you're going to be exposed to more advanced tech of some kind. So this is it's almost like science fiction. Whatever, it could even be your children are now being exposed to this, and so you are learning through them, or you may just have to bring that in to connect to your children. You may have to learn more about technology, understand it a bit more, use it a bit more, but you're being asked to bring that in so that you can connect to your creativity, to your children. It could be an Aquarian that is coming if you are single and you wanting entering a love affair. That there could be an Aquarian kind of person coming, and they may not necessarily be an Aquarius, but they may have aspects in their charts which gives them that mask of being an Aquarian, or they have elements, or Uranus is very strong in their chart. So these people are androgynous. They don't like emotional dramas. They prefer the bigger picture. They prefer to focus on the future and on the bigger vision. So they like to look far into the future. That is their prime motive, prime function, is to see the future and to lead the way in that. So this person could be involved in advanced tech, or be just somehow involved with robotics or science fiction. Could be a writer, could be an artist. But Aquarians can be quite eccentric. They can be very different. There can be gender issues there, so they may come across. They may be a girl or a guy, but they come across as quite masculine or quite feminine. So there's that kind of element coming in, and it could they're androgynous, so they can look neither male or female, but or be female, but have quite strong features and so on. Then if it's your children that are being exposed to the Aquarian energy, they may be going through a phase where they are have unusual friends, or they're learning new technology, or they could just be having really be interested in advanced things, or just having it's reading a lot of science fiction and so on. So there's different ways that this can be coming about. But in any case, this is also about a kind of genius, a kind of eccentricity, but there's genius in there as well. So whether you're bringing these elements into your creativity, perhaps you are in a creative field, technology is going to be playing a major part, and you've got to harness the genius within. It's also a very rational sign. They, like I said, they're not really overly affectionate. They look for the bigger picture. That is how they see things. So you could, if you're meeting somebody and it's a love affair, you will be a friend first and then a lover. They have a lot of friends. They have a lot of unusual friends, and they prefer that basis initially, and then they like to move forward to the next level. Highly intellectual, can be quite exotic, bohemian, and you could also be doing activities which are considered exotic, or fun or bohemian. So it's that kind of energy that's coming in to the 5th house. Then we have the 6th house. This is Chiron, and it's healing. So the 6th house is all to do with your work, your daily work, your routine, your work colleagues, your workplace, and your work projects. It's also mastery of your craft, and it's also health and diet and pets. So with Chiron appearing in this house, there's obviously a great deal of healing that needs to occur, and this can be body, mind, and spirit, or all three. So there's some kind of deep healing that needs to occur in order for you to move forward. Or you could be in a situation at work where has been problems and been drama, and it's going through basically dysfunction. So there will be a period of dysfunction before progress. Or it could be that you personally in your health and a diet are having to go through some kind of experience an illness before lasting health. And it's that process of going through that. Chiron is all about wisdom through pain. And it's wounds, deep wounds. Now, wounds let the light in. So just think of it that way. So when you have a wound, the light enters, and therefore then you can reach for higher things. It's a form of transformation as well. So this Chiron also rules medicine, all kinds of medicine, homeopathy, and it's also chiropractic. It also rules astrology, quantum physics, and there's teaching and learning in there as well. So this could be coming into your work projects as well, or it could be coming into your health and healing, so health and diet. So this is a transformative process. It's a period of healing, and then after that there's progress. So however that applies for you in that house, but you can also expect issues from the past maybe returning now to be dealt with. So it could be an old injury or an old illness. And all of these things, whether it's an injury or an illness, always you must look back at the time that it first happened. And you must look at your emotions and what was going on in your environment at that time that injury or that illness came to light. Because quite often, when you're asked to heal that, those issues come up again, and you've now got to examine everything that was going on with you at that time. And you have to work through that, release all the negativity and the pain and the emotional drama or whatever was going on at that time, release all that, come to terms with it, which is a deeply healing process. And then once you are through that, it's almost like you'll be dropping that baggage. It's like an old coat. You'll just take it off and you'll be able to move forward. Then in the 7th house, we have the Jupiter return card. This is a very, very beneficial card, wonderful card to be having in your 7th house. Your 7th house is everything to do with relationships. So this is close personal relationships. It's also to do with business partnerships, but it's your one-on-one close personal relationships. Because it's a return, Jupiter usually takes about 12 years to circle around the zodiac. So this could be something from the past that's now coming back. It may very well be 12 years, but it was something that has come from the past. It could be an old love affair, or the one that got away, or just somebody that you've known from before. And possibly, because this is a house of relationship, it didn't work 100% before. Something didn't pan out as well as it should have. Perhaps one of you moved away, or it just never came to fruition. Well, now it's coming around again. And if you apply yourself and you work through it and you harness the best aspects of Jupiter, then you have every chance of success. You have every chance of securing that person in your life this time for good. So it's a very beneficial planet. It's a planet of opportunity. It brings in luck, happiness, joy. It's also the green light. So what has been blocked before now gets the green light, and you can move forward. It brings in freedom. And it can apply, as I say, to a past lover, or somebody from the past that's coming in. But it's freedom in love as well. You're going to feel like sort of lifted. It's a form of renewal. There's there's gifts there, and you're required to be flirtatious. You're required to be generous. And if it's not one significant other that's coming back to you, then it could be that you have a range of lovers to choose from. The only thing with the Jupiter return, it may not be long lasting. If it's a quick affair, but it's appearing in your 7th house, so this indicates longer term commitment. This isn't the 5th house, which is love affairs. This is the next phase. This is a deeper commitment. So I feel that it possibly is that you will get the opportunity to secure the person that you want. And if this is a business relationship, it has much the same connotation. You're now going to get the chance to harness something which perhaps was from the past, didn't quite work, or something that you planted, some seed that you planted is now going to reach fruition at this time. A very positive card. But whatever it is, it's going to be rapid. It's going to be rapid, so you need to grab it with both hands quickly. Don't let it slip past you. Don't sit back and go, oh, well, this fell into my lap, so it must all be meant to be. You still have to work at these things. You still have to do the work. You still have to think about it and actually harness it. And it's going to feel great, but you've still got to secure it, you know. This card is also about being grateful, expressing gratitude for whatever blessings are coming to you at this time. This can also be if you're not meeting somebody new and you're already in a relationship, you have been in a relationship. It's kind of, this is renewal. This is renewal of joy and freedom and happiness. It's coming back to you now, or it'll just be a bubbling up of that. So you may have had a period of sort of stagnancy or just going through the mill, your everyday routine, not much romance, not much, you know, just the daily grind. And then suddenly things turn and you start to see a change and start to feel lighter and brighter. Make sure you spread that around and spread that to your partner and really take hold of this joy and the benefit that comes with this. Then in the 7th house, we have Libra, in the 8th house, we have Libra, I balance. So I feel this is carrying on from the 7th house as well, because this is the house of deeper commitment. So it feels to me like it's somebody coming back to you and you're now going to be making a firmer decision with them, or it could be just the renewal of an existing relationship and now you're going to be putting it down to make it more permanent. This is the sharing of all resources between you, emotional and physical and monetary. So this is about making that deeper commitment. It involves a decision of some kind, and it's about balancing the scales between you. And if this is a business relationship, it has all the same kinds of qualities. It's about negotiation. It's about compromise. It's about finding the middle path. So if you have a decision to make it, and if it's between two things, go with the middle path, the path of the happiness, the path of joy, the path that's going to be a happy place for everybody. And finding those solutions, getting yourself in a position where you are working together. So it's all about partnership, working together for the greater good in your relationships. You know, if it's a personal or a business, or could be both. But it's finding that harmonious ground. This is not about codependency. So try and work around that and not fall into that trap. This is about balancing your needs and the other person's needs. This card also covers the lower courts. So there may be some legal issues coming in there. And with Libra, the scales coming in, you know, it implies balance. It implies a fair outcome, or you may have to negotiate for a fair outcome. Then the 8th house also covers big finance. So this is like investments and insurance and taxes and legacies and inheritances and so on. So if you're going to be joining with somebody together, then all of those matters come into play. It's the sharing of that and the balancing of that to work in harmony for everybody. And it also could be that if you are in the field where you manage other people's money, it's also about other people's money. So again, apply all those principles to that field. Then in the 9th house, we have solar eclipse. This is appearing it's a revolution, and it's appearing in the ninth house, which is everything to do with international travel. It's opposite your third house, which is all about short journeys. So again, you're having a fire element there, and you're having a fire element here. So this is anything to do with anything foreign, anything international, foreign people, import, export, if it's a business. It's a grander scale, it's a global scale. It's also covers publishing, religion, your belief systems, and higher education. So this is like university level education or adult education. And it implies, it's also adventure and travel, sort of traveling, that is exploratory travel. It's the house of philosophy as well. So now it can cover teaching and also wisdom, the gaining of wisdom. With this card appearing there, there's going to be a quick change, a quick transformation, and it could be quite upsetting, a bit of an upheaval falling in this house. So it could be, for instance, if you're studying something or you have been studying something, something is going to occur and it will cause a change of direction for you. So it's that kind of change. Or if you are planning a trip, there's going to be some kind of upset or upheaval or change of plan or change of direction. Or it could be a change of your belief system or your philosophy on certain things. Whatever it is, it's calling you to remain present, because when you remain present, then you can navigate better from there. But ultimately, a decision has got to be made, and a change of direction is required. It will force you out of your comfort zone. You're going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it also could be about fixing something. This house also covers promotional work and publishing, and it covers the higher courts. So there's going to be some kind of revolution, some kind of turnaround from where you were going, the direction you were heading in, and now it's changing. So when it comes to fixing something, you may have to be called with this jolt, the sudden change of, now something comes up, you've got to change it. You'll be forced to look at it again, and out of that possibly will come a better solution or a better choice. But ultimately, it will come to you that you've got to now make a decision and move on. It can also mean a relocation of some sort. So you could be moving or going somewhere else overseas, possibly to for whatever purpose. It could be quite quick the way it's going to pan out there. Then in the 10th house, this is the house of career, the house of ambition, public status, your reputation and your fame. It's also the house of authority figures. So you've got Pisces, I believe, coming in there, and this is all about trust and faith. So you may have a dream that you're trying to follow, and it's just not looking clear at this time. Things are looking a little bit uncertain, a bit murky, unclear, because it's a watery sign. You may not just be able to see things 100%, and it's calling you to have a bit of trust and faith, a bit of belief in yourself and in that you will find the right path. You're just going to have to surrender to what is at this time. Just go with the flow. It also covers people who are artistic, so it's artistry, it's musical studies, composing, that kind of thing. So you could be wanting to move into that, or it could be coming into your career in some way, shape or form. But it covers all of that. But just be careful with this, with Pisces influence, that you are not going with the wrong crowd, mixing with the wrong crowd of people, or associating with people who are not actually going to lead you in a good direction with regards to your career, or perhaps your reputation, or how you are moving forward up the ladder or in public. So you need to think carefully about that. Look at the people that you're surrounding yourself with, make a good assessment, analyze what you're doing, and think carefully about it, because you don't want to be sort of formless and have no boundaries. You need to have boundaries, and you need to be clear about what you want. Your career goals at this time, or the way you're moving forward, may not be clear. But with Pisces, you have the opportunity to harness your imagination and to tap into divinity of all kinds. So that's accessing the divine. So it's about having strong beliefs and tapping into that imaginative higher consciousness. It's all about higher consciousness. It's a good card if you're in the arts, if you're writing, if you're going to be accessing all of those abilities. But it just may feel as if your career is just not, you're not 100% clear at this time. But just go with the flow. Have belief, have strong belief, and you will get there. Then in the 11th house, we have part of fortune. This is increase. So this is a very positive card to be having. This comes in for your friendships and your networks, your groups that you're a member of, and your clubs. So it's where you're interacting with others in a group situation, and it's your friendships. So you may be finding that you're meeting lots of new people, or you are meeting others in the groups and your clubs and so on. Just be aware of who you are mixing with. Choose carefully the ones that are enhancing you and enhancing your goals. And it could be also that you're in the spotlight for some reason. Normally, part of fortune increases is all about harnessing your hidden talents and abilities. So this may be something that you perhaps know about subtly. You have this ability, or you have this talent, but it's never been worked on. You've never really focused on it much, or perhaps your upbringing didn't allow you to focus on that. You might have come from a strictly religious background, and now you're finding that you have psychic abilities, this kind of thing. So it's those sorts of abilities, or whatever is coming up for you, rising to the surface, and it's that rising to the surface that's going to put you in the spotlight. People are going to be looking at you differently. They're going to be perceiving you a little bit differently, and you may just be interacting with others and actually making really good contacts. Just as I said, be aware of who you are mixing with. Rather, draw the correct people to you. It's about flow. It's about popularity. It's about benefits. So their benefits going to be coming to you. It's just very good for public relations. It's about having respect from others, and it's about good fortune. So, harness those lovely qualities in your group situations and in your friendships as well. Make good, solid, beneficial friendships, people who really do support you and are supportive of what you are trying to do in your life, your goals and so on. Then in the 12th house, you have Grand Trine. This is a blessings card. This is a card of great flow and harmony. So, this is an opportunity that's coming in for you now in the 12th house, which is the 12th house is the house of the unconscious, and it's the house of escapism as well. But it's all about mysticism. It's about healing, and healing is coming in for you, as we said earlier, in your 6th house, which is to do with your work and your health and your diet. So you've got an opportunity coming in, which is possibly going to work hand in hand with that. But you have to go through, you have to work with this. You have to work with these beautiful, harmonious aspects that are going on for you. There's a lot of flow and a lot of strength there, but you have to harness it. You can't just sit back and wait for it to carry you away. You do actually have to swim in the tide there. So it's bringing blessings. It has the opportunity to bring you blessings, to bring you harmony, to bring you through some difficult periods. So, but you've got to stay focused, and you can't have unrealistic expectations. You can't be complacent either. You actually have to swim in that channel. You have to go with it, but you have to swim. You may just be feeling at one with others. So this 12th house also covers things like seclusion, retreat, withdrawal, periods of solitude and reflection. It's meditative journeys, mysticism, healing, and your deep spiritual life. So you could be mixing with others or going into a perhaps like a retreat or some kind of going to a facility where, or an institution where healing is available to you, and you're going to be associating with other people who are like you, so like-minded people, or people also going through things that you are going through, and you're going to feel connected to them. It could also just be about having trust and faith in your path and your life path. You could also be given the opportunity to deal with some very deep-seated unconscious issues that you have in your life. So it's a way of coming through the confusion. It's a way of finding a resolution. The 12th house is also the house of drugs, addiction, and escapism. So you could be getting help with that, or you could just be feeling sort of connected to others in some way, shape, or form. But it's a card of flow, and it's a card of almost like blocks have been lifted from you. So work with that. And follow your blessings, but you will have to work at it. You will still have to apply yourself in order to harness that. All right, Taurus, thank you for joining me, and take care, and I'll see you next time.